Hello everyone, and welcome back to another review. We're back. Impact Bound for Glory was last night. And I know I said I wasn't going to be watching the show, but a massive shout out to friend of the channel, Michael Muirhead, who he hit me up and he said, look, I've bought Bound for Glory, I can give you my Fite login. I know you don't have the money because you're getting your laptop's broken, your Bound for Glory money has gone to the new laptop fund. So a massive shout out to Michael. I will leave a link to his channel down below. He does some unboxings like WrestleCrate and stuff as well. So I'll link his stuff down below. But last night Impact had Bound for Glory, their biggest show of the year, their WrestleMania, their Double or Nothing, their final battle. And it was a good show. Maybe because I missed the last couple of weeks. Some things felt a little bit disjointed to me, but maybe that's just because I missed it because Impact Plus was playing up. I did enjoy the show though. I did think it was a good show. We'll talk about things I found a little bit weird or a little bit underwhelming as we get to them. So let's just crack on with it. And the first match on the show was the 6-person scramble for the X Division Championship, which saw Rohit defend against TJP, Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, Willie Mack, and Jordan Grace. Is that Rohit defending against 5 challengers? Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, TJP, Willie Mack, Jordan Grace. Yep, that's 5. Perfect. The match was fun. The match was good. It started with Rohit just immediately leaving the ring. And everyone just sort of getting their moves in at the start. It was an X Division match. It was quick. It was fast paced. Everyone obviously impressed. There was a spot where TJP had 5 of them, all 5 in different submissions. So he had like Willie Mack in an Indian Deathlock, and then he had Trey Miguel in another leg lock, and then Chris Bay ran at him and he got him in a chancery, and then a bulldog lock kind of thing, like a chin lock thing. It wasn't incredibly tight on Jordan Grace, and Rohit came in and broke it up with some big old clubbing lariats to both sides of TJP. Everyone looked great in this match. Still don't think TJP should have been on the show. I don't. I don't. Well, we need to see if the show has led to an outbreak, and if so, we know exactly who to blame. But, the match was good. Everyone looked incredible. Jordan Grace looked amazing. She didn't do many high spots, but it's the X Division. A lot of people think it's all about high spots, but I don't know. Everyone in it was great. Willie Mack really impressed me. It still amazes me seeing a man of that size do a standing moonsault. There was a bit where Jordan Grace was on the outside and she took out, I think it was Rohit and TJP. And then Willie Mack just hit the ropes and does a flip to the outside onto the 3 of them. And Jordan Grace was right in the middle. Jordan Grace was the one bearing the brunt of that. It was amazing. The X Division is always great. At one point, I think Chris Bay was in the ring and Rohit was on the apron, and TJP stood up, got up on the apron and lifted Rohit up onto his shoulders. And much like that video of that one Mark Jindrak, Marco Corleone drop kick, Chris Bay just got up and took Rohit clean off of, I think it was TJ. I don't know. That's how I'm thinking it is. I just know there was a spot with there was a lot happening. It was a great match. Right towards the end though, Jordan Grace hit Trey Miguel with the Grace Driver for what would have been the win if it wasn't broken up. And then TJP then came off the top rope with the Mamba Splash onto Trey Miguel after Jordan Grace was thrown out the ring. And Rohit came in, grabbed him, threw him out the ring, pinned Trey Miguel, and Rohit is still your X Division champion. Now, I don't know how much I agree with Rohit still being the champ. Rohit's great, but it should be Jordan Grace. It really should be Jordan Grace. Rohit was very entertaining in this match. There was quite a few times he did do the Del Rio stomp where someone has to hold himself there for ages onto Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace did the most realistic sell of getting up. She was trying to get off and she was hitting him and trying to make him lose his balance, but eventually she did just end up holding herself there. But before Rohit hit it, he screamed equality, and there was a couple of times he super kicked her and screamed equality. I would have put the title on Jordan Grace personally. I did like the match though. Everyone was great, everyone looks great, but I just wonder where the X Division goes now, because I don't know, I like Rohit, but I feel like putting the title, this is my biggest thing with the show, is WrestleMania and Double or Nothing and Final Battle, they all they always are like the equivalent of a series finale. And then the next year of storyline is typically set up there to lead us through. But with if Jordan Grace had won, it would have felt like a fresh chapter and a new start to the X Division. Whereas it's just kind of meandering on a little bit, and I feel like a few of the things that happened last night felt a bit like that. But overall, it's a good match, and I'm happy for Rohit. He's doing a lot of good stuff. He's doing a lot of really good stuff. Up next was the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, where it's a 20-man gauntlet. Everyone comes in at intervals over the top rope, and the final two go into a normal one-on-one match, pinfall or submission. Winner gets a shot at any title they want, and if Rhino or Heath win, Heath gets his contract for Impact. So that I'll just go through the competitors in alphabetical order. So, AC Romero, Adam Thornstowe, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, Crazy Steve, Sean Daivari, who came back at number 2 to wrestle Rhino, who's also in the match. Rhino was number 1, Sean Daivari was number 2, and he was looking huge. He had 30 abs on him. Followed by Havoc, Heath, Hernandez. James Storm also came back right towards the end, and that was, I got very excited. Kiera Hogan, Larry D, Lost of the Legend, Sami Callihan, Swoggle, Taya Valkyrie, Tennille Dashwood, and Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer did a tribute to the Road Warriors, and he even had the trim. So it's just some quick highlights from this match. Obviously, Daivari being back is great to see. He looked amazing. Brian Myers got the first 6 eliminations, and I think he's set himself up for the next shot at the world title. I would like that. Tommy obviously coming out with his trim, with his Road Warriors trim. There was a bit where Havoc eliminated Kiera Hogan. So Tasha Steelz was out with Kiera Hogan, and as Tommy came out, he had a trash can full of weapons, and only went in the ring one, just threw the trash can aside. But Havoc chokeslammed Kiera Hogan onto Tasha Steelz on the outside, who fell back onto Tommy's trash can and just hit her head. It looked really sore. Obviously, James Storm coming back was massive. Heath came in, ran in, slid in, had a neck breaker, and then just started hitting some like running knees and big boots. And on his very first knee or his first boot, second move of the match, injured himself. Now, he was able to finish the match out, but he then posted a photo from a hospital bed. The eye test made it look like maybe a knee or an ankle injury, but there's some reports that it's either a lower abdominal or groin injury. So, hopefully Heath is back soon. In the end, it came down to Sami Callihan and Rhino. Callihan left the ring and grabbed the chair and was going nuts. And as he got back in the ring, the ref was like, "You can't do this, so one match now, you're not going to get disqualified." And then he got gored out of his socks. And Rhino won the Battle Royal, or the Gauntlet. And now he gets to call a shot for any title he wants. Probably the tag titles with Heath whenever Heath is healthy. I liked this match. I did. It was great to see James Storm back. And great to see Daivari back. Myers looked amazing. James Storm obviously looked great. So hopefully they will be sticking around, because I really like Sean Daivari. Maybe he's the next person that can go after Rohit. That'd be cool. I really like him, so I'd think really cool. I do think this is the right choice. Obviously, it had to be either Heath or Rhino. Personally, I would have liked to have seen maybe Rhino turn on Heath and get him his contract, but still call a shot for a singles title. I think it would be kind of cool. Or maybe if Heath did it, but Heath's too lovable. But I like them as a tag team, and I'm excited to see them wrestle. The tag champs. The next match then was Moose and EC3, and it was a cinematic match. It wasn't a match in the ring as much as it was a pre-taped sort of. It felt like the end of like a Mortal Kombat movie, if there was pro wrestling in the Mortal Kombat universe. I liked it. I thought it was good. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter not really a big fan. The match started with EC3 beating up on like a trainee or something and screaming, "Control your narrative, free yourself," all of his catchphrases. And then it cuts to Moose walking in to this like old like dingy wrestling school kind of looking thing. It was all like shot really dark, and it looked cool. And everyone there was all wearing the free EC3 hoodies, and Moose is screaming looking for him. And then EC3 gets up off like sitting down at the back of the room, walks over, and then they just start scrapping. And very early on, EC3 starts bleeding. He bladed in a cinematic match, which I gotta respect. They just had this very over-the-top fight, as if it was from like Fight Club met the Mortal Kombat movie. Just the campiness of it all. It was great. I really enjoyed it. They went back and forth for ages, throwing each other all over this place, and eventually they threw the title down on the ground, the white leather TNA World title, and EC3 went to hit the 1%, and it like flashed back to him like winning the title and showed like loads of like clips of him with it, but then Moose countered and hit him with a big old spear, and then it showed loads of clips of Moose hitting folk with spears and all the times that Moose has come this close. And then Moose picks up the title, and he looks at EC3 who's on his knees, and EC3 starts screaming. He goes, "If you need to kill me to control your narrative, do it. You're welcome." And then Moose just hits him like 4 or 5 times across the face with the title, and then leaves. And EC3 is now dead, and Moose has now unlocked his inner whatever. I like this. I think it's a good way to push the story forward. Gives EC3 some time away to go and do some stuff in Ring of Honor, which I think he's doing. Obviously, it's not EC3's first match back. I mean, it's kind of a match, but not a proper match. And when we finally do get him in a ring, I think that's going to be very good. And I like this because Moose needed that edge. He kind of lost the edge doing the whole TNA champ thing, and just giving him this way where he just killed the most intense man in professional wrestling makes Moose look amazing. So, well, we need to see where this goes. But I like this. I did like it. I've seen a lot of people weren't a fan of it. There was one kind of goofy bit where Moose is on top of him, just like beating the shit out of him. And then it cuts to a camera angle from underneath, so the cameraman's clearly been lying down with the camera up like that, and Moose is like just pretending to punch that. That was a little bit goofy, but overall didn't take me out of the match too much, or the fight or whatever it was too much. So I enjoyed it. So I'll let it slide. It wasn't as goofy as everyone on Twitter seems to think it was, but you know. Ken Shamrock and Eddie Edwards was up next, and this match was a bit wild. Obviously, earlier on in the night, Ken Shamrock was inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame by The Rock, of all people. So The Rock was on a TNA pay-per-view, or an Impact pay-per-view. But this match was good. It kind of opened off hot with Ken Shamrock being Ken Shamrock. Eventually, Eddie was able to sort of regain momentum when they went to the outside and there was a suicide dive. It was wild. All Ken Shamrock matches are a bit mad. I think Ken Shamrock sometimes forgets how to work punches, and then he gets hit with a real strike after about 3 minutes of like genuinely potatoing someone, and then realises he has to slow down. And that's the sort of gist of a Ken Shamrock match these days. But I like them. He's the maddest man on the planet. But him and Eddie went back and forth for a while, and then Sammy Callahan gets up on the apron. Obviously, he was out there accompanying Ken Shamrock with his phone, and he presses the button, and his old noise goes, and the lights go out. And the lights go back up, and he's holding the baseball bat. But Eddie's got a kendo stick, and he ducks the baseball bat, hits Sammy with a kendo stick, and then again on the back, and a few more times, sends him out the ring, and then turns his attention to Ken Shamrock, hits a Tiger Driver, but only for 2. Sammy tries to get up and get more involved, again, gets chased off, but Eddie Edwards is cut down by Ken Shamrock, who locks in an ankle lock for the win, and on the night of his induction at the Hall of Fame, gets a win over Eddie Edwards. Did I like this match? Yes and no. It just felt a bit too much. I know we're obviously building to another Sammy Callahan and Eddie Edwards match, but I don't know. Ken Shamrock's mad. He had his moment going out in the Hall of Fame, and I think he could have just left it at that and put Eddie in the Call Your Shot gauntlet, maybe. I don't know. I liked it, but I think it felt weird and out of place. But still kind of enjoyed it, I guess. This was my personal like the show, but I did enjoy it. I did think it was good. I just found it a little bit hard to care about. I don't know. I liked it, but I feel like it with the exception of Sammy turning off the lights, it just felt like a match on TV. And that's, I guess, my issue with it. But it was fine, I guess. It was fine. The 4-way for the Impact Tag Team Championships was up next, and that was between Madman Fulton and Ace Austin, the North, the Good Brothers, and the Motor City Machine Guns. Before the match started, the North jumped the Motor City Machine Guns, and Josh Alexander hit Alex Shelley with a butterfly pile driver on the stage, who was whisked away at the back. And I've been watching wrestling for 14 years now, so I know when that happens, it's going to be like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, Shelley's going to run back, he's going to limp down, he's going to save the day, and the Motor City Machine Guns are going to retain the titles. But it didn't happen, because Alex Shelley's actually genuinely injured. So Chris Sabin went into this match on his own and showed the world that he is one of the best wrestlers in the whole world. He is incredible. He put on such a fantastic, valiant babyface performance. He is by far the MVP of Bound for Glory. Really showed all that he can do. The opening 5 to 8 minutes of the match was just him versus both the North and Ace and Fulton, as he kept trying to tag in the Good Brothers because I guess their faces, they're his de facto reprieve, or his reprieve, his de facto like place to go, his safe space, I guess, his safe, his way out. And like Sabin looked brilliant. He eventually managed to clear the distance with it was just an incredible sequence of moves taking out Ace and Fulton with a big tornado DDT right at the end. Tagged in the Good Brothers, who came in and just cleaned house. The match kept going, they were brilliant. Obviously the North were brilliant. Another rumour and innuendo is that Ethan Page was leaving Impact when his contract runs out, so I assumed they would stiff the pin in this one. But no, there was a fantastic spot where Ace Austin was up on Madman Fulton's shoulders, and I believe the North got in the ring and stood at either side of them and just hit Fulton back and forth with kicks and strikes until they broke down on his knees, and then they both just took the pair of them out with Austin still on Fulton's shoulders as Fulton was on his knees. Towards the end, Carl Anderson ran Josh Alexander into the ropes and then rolled him back in for a O'Connor roll, and was pushed off and sent into Ethan Page, who just clocked Carl Anderson right in the head with the tag title. And the North have once again won the Impact Tag Team Championships, which to me suggests that Ethan Page has re-signed with Impact. Personally, would have kept the titles on the Machine Guns, but we don't know the severity of Alex Shelley's injury. I've seen some people say it doesn't seem like it's a big one, so hopefully not. Maybe he'll just miss, a month. I think they tape 4 weeks in advance. So maybe only just miss this one taping, and he'll be back soon. Hopefully he's back sooner than later, as he is my all-time favourite wrestler. But this match was great. The North sticking around really helps the tag division, I think, because once they left, there's no money in Ace and Fulton for me. The money is in Ace Austin as a singles performer, and also in Madman Fulton as a single performer, and they're very entertaining to watch. But long term, there's no money in the tag division if they're the head of the table. So I think it's the right move, putting us back on the North if Shelley isn't going to be here for a while, because you've got to hold off on the Good Brothers winning it. I think keep them in the chase for a long time, and then when they finally win, it's going to feel amazing. So yeah, I hope Alex Shelley is back wrestling soon, and congratulations to the North for now being 2-time Impact Tag Team Champions. This is now where the show gets a bit controversial. So Impact knew that Kylie Rae was not going to be able to make the show because of injury. They still continued to advertise Kylie Rae versus Deonna Purrazzo for the title and offered no explanation as to why she wasn't there. And I know they'll offer the explanation on Tuesday, but we didn't even get anything. And I understand that's because she wasn't there to film an angle where she's been taken out. But surely there could have been some explanation. Say that Kylie was attacked in her hotel room and isn't making the show or something like that. So Deonna came out to the ring, and then Kylie's music hit and she never came out. And then Deonna got on the mic and said, "Look, it's clear that she's just scared of me. I am the best. I'm the best in the world, easily. So if there's anyone backstage who wants a shot at my Knockouts Championship, even any of the men that want a shot, out you come." And her and Kimberly stood in the ring laughing. And then Su Young's music hit. So Susie is now officially dead after having her arm broken by Deonna at Victory Road. And Su Young is back. The Undead Bride, Su Young. And this match was great. I thought it was amazing. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen some exposition or heard some exposition. I imagine we'll be told on Friday that Su Young came back and attacked Kylie for suppressing her all this time and being friends with Susie and letting Susie exist, or something like that. But as much as I felt a little bit taken out of the experience by the fact there was no explanation offered on the show, Su Young's brilliant, so she made up for it. The match was absolutely fantastic. It was just so good. At one point she grabbed Deonna, she was on the apron, and then she was on the apron, grabbed her into like a sidewalk slam position, and jumped off and did a 180 and slammed her down onto the side of the apron. She set her up on a chair as well on the outside and sentoned off the apron down through. They both were incredible. She produced a big stinky glove for a mandible claw, and there was some like tried to get it. Deonna turned around. Deonna then went for a pump kick and missed, and she took the ref out. But this pump kick looked it was quite close to a big old Sheamus Brogue kick. It looked brutal. But then Su Yung was able to lock in the mandible claw, but to no avail as the ref was dead over there. Deonna got back into it with a pump kick and then locked in the Fujiwara armbar. And then as she went to grab the other arm for the Venus de Milo, she just managed to lock in a mandible claw on Deonna to get the break. And then hit her with a panic switch. And Su Yung is now the new Impact Knockouts champion. And I think this is the right call, especially now if you're bringing Su Yung back to lead a reign of terror over the division. I don't remember if it was announced before or after the match, but the Knockouts tag team titles are coming back. So this frees up Deonna to pursue them with Kimberly, as well as still be in the running for that title. Because realistically, why would you want to go after both when she's already the champ? Why would you want to put an even bigger target on her back when she was already just the Knockouts champion? So Knockouts tag titles are coming back, and they will be crowned at Hard to Kill in January. But overall, Su Yung winning this match, I thought, was the right call. And we'll just look to see how they expand on this on Tuesday. And now it's time for the main event, Eric Young and Rich Swann. A match that I wasn't entirely excited about, just because I like Rich Swann, but he's not someone I would put in the main event of the biggest show of the year. I did miss 2 weeks because of Impact Plus being just wasn't working. But people on Twitter have pretty much said that if this match didn't feel right, if you didn't see those last 2 weeks, that's when it started to make, that's when Rich Swann really started to feel like a main eventer. Which to me, it just didn't, but it's whatever. The match was amazing. The match was absolutely fantastic. Eric Young was just at a sadistic best for most of this match. He was just beating him up and screaming at him, making fun of him. One thing I don't like about Rich Swann matches is he produces a lot of saliva. So he'll start breathing heavy and there'll just be big strings of spit that he'll, when he breathes back in, come flying back up. And it's minging and I hate seeing it. But at one point I did burst his lip and it started spitting blood. It looked a bit nasty. But yeah, Eric Young was at his sadistic best at the start, went for the ankle early on, and Rich Swann obviously knew he was going for the ankle, so instead of targeting his leg the whole match, Eric Young just went after his neck instead. He was like, if you're going to protect your leg, your guard will be down somewhere else, and went after his neck the whole match. There was a brutal spot where he landed just head first on the apron, and looked like he was doing a handstand on it. It looked brutal. It was like a weird stump puller kind of move, but to the head, just to weaken the neck. It was just nasty. Eventually Rich Swann was able to get his comeback, fight back, but Eric Young kept cutting him down. But eventually was able to fight back, hitting a lethal injection move, a springboard cutter, went to the top rope and hit a Phoenix Splash. And Rich Swann is now the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. And after the match, all the locker room poured out and lifted him up high and was like, new face champion, yay, they will restart the year. And I don't know. Don't know how I feel about it. Like I say, a show like this should neatly wrap everything up and set us in stead for the next year, because it's the biggest show of the year. But this is our third champion since Slammiversary. Every title changed hands except, realistically, the one that needed to, with the X Division title. I understand nothing could be done about the tag titles, and it would look a bit weird if Sabin was able to win 1-on-6. But this is the one title that really didn't need to change hands. And it did, and it just feels weird. Now, I understand that I missed these 2 weeks of TV, which apparently set Rich Swann apart and made him, make this jump to a main event level player. But still, you bring back Eric Young, I'm thinking James Storm's come back, Davari, Brian Myers, all these amazing people. And obviously, Rich Swann can have great matches with these people. But Eric Young's your big money draw. You get Eric Young back, so many people are going to keep coming back, and you just go look at Rich Swann. Rich Swann's obviously great, but it just doesn't make sense. If they had this match at Hard to Kill, and he won the title at Hard to Kill in January, yeah, fine. But it feels rushed to me. You have this incredible heel who's tore his way through everyone, including Rich Swann, and obviously he gets his comeuppance and he's going to lose his title. But just as the run was really starting to pick up steam, it feels like they cut the legs out from under it, So I don't really know what's going on. I'm intrigued to see what's happening on Tuesday. Overall, I would give the show a 7. All the matches were great. Just don't know how much I agree with some of the booking. Everyone was fantastic. All the matches were fantastic until some of the finishes, and that's just my opinion on it. But like I say, I'll be interested to see what happens on Impact on Tuesday. If I can get Impact Plus to work, I will go back to making weekly Impact reviews on top of like my talking point videos and stuff like that. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Once again, a massive shout out to Michael Muirhead for giving me his Fite login to watch Bound for Glory. I did enjoy the show, like I say. It just wasn't as good as I guess expected it to be, especially after Slammiversary was so good and how good the TV's been. But that's just me. Maybe you liked it, maybe you hated it, maybe you think I'm an idiot for not believing in Rich Swann. If you have any opinions about the show, leave some comments down below and I'll see what you all thought. If you know anyone that likes wrestling, please share this video around, tell your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, like, comment, just get the word out about this beardy man talking about wrestling in his bedroom to as many people as you can. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed Bound for Glory if you watched it, and I will see you next time.